Let me put something into perspective. Aldean of Ancients, just announced. Yomaya, in progress. Primeval Horizon, in progress. Isles of Yore, being worked on by one dude. Honestly, props to you, bro. Pangea Survival, in progress. Wake of Pandora, in progress. Prehistoric Marine Monsters, released on Steam for $20 and went radio silent. Isles of Pangea hasn't posted an update to their YouTube in over a year. Historia, failed. The Depths, failed. All of these are dinosaur survival games that people have worshipped, said, oh, this will be better than the Isle, or something along those lines. All of them have had backers, supporters, and fans who genuinely believed these games would break the mold and become the most popular game in the genre. And yet, most of these games are failing, irrelevant, or a work in progress. That's not to say that no one should try and beat the Isle, or that none of these games have a chance. They do. But here's the issue. Many of these games have very small development teams with small budgets and not many supporters. My YouTube channel has more subscribers than half of these games combined, and that is not a flex. Thanks for 1K, by the way. A lot of these channels simply aren't known. I'm sure many of you didn't recognize at least one of the games I mentioned. All of these games are at a significant disadvantage compared to the big three: the Isle, Path of Titans, and Beasts of Bermuda. With such a saturated market, people are, to my surprise, still throwing money at these games and hoping for the best. It concerns me, because it appears that people really aren't deterred by the massive failure rate in the dinosaur survival game genre. I follow some of these games, and have high hopes for them, but I wouldn't bet money on it just because they say they're going to do great things. A pattern I see with a lot of these games is roster hype. People get excited about what dinosaurs the game plans to add, and that regularly involves stretch goals to fund their projects. This isn't inherently wrong, but the fact that Path of Titans and Beasts of Bermuda are the only games in this genre that claim to be completed video games speaks volumes about the broken development process that these games try to utilize. Overpromising and overselling runs rampant, and people still throw money at these games regardless of the obvious risks. Developers have run off with the money, or gone radio silent after garnering a significant amount of funds. Even developers that stick to their word barely make headway on their promises within years of development. This genre has a unique way of doing things that most game communities simply don't allow. This permanent beta phase is shunned by almost every gaming community except this one, and that's because it's the only possible way to do things. These games start with so little publicity and funding that they had to do this to get anything done. I think the harsh reality is that many of us simply aren't equipped to make a dinosaur game. It's costly, takes time, skill, and resources that many developers simply don't have. I certainly don't have them, no matter how much I want to make my own game that I think could be the next big thing. The sad thing is, it's usually the backers who have to deal with these consequences. But what choice do they have? Many people are fed up with games like the Isle for not listening to them, so they turn to people who will. And that often gets their bank account in trouble. The truth is, many of these games end up just like the Isle, or worse. There's not a lot of variety or uniqueness in these games, and many of them are purely reactionary. They feed off built-up anger from the community and strive only to do what the Isle isn't doing, and it usually doesn't work. With such massive ambition and so little planning, these games just don't go anywhere. I'd have infinitely more respect for a developer who plans to simply release their game when it's done. A wild concept, I know. But the truth is, if you can't get an honest backing from the community and make a completed game for them to enjoy within a reasonable time frame, you shouldn't be making a game. It's a tough pill to swallow that many people refuse. They think they will be different, that they will be the ones to succeed. But time and time again, we see just how wrong they are. But I don't want this video to be all doom and gloom. Video games are born from passion, overcoming the odds, and a tremendous amount of love and care. The good ones, at least. I truly believe that there is a game out there being worked on that could be the next big thing. But I ask you to see the struggle for what it is. Throwing your money at a dream is just that, and you have to let the developer establish themselves as a trustworthy seller before you do. And as a developer, you have to be modest and realistic. Stick to what you know you can accomplish instead of disappointing yourself and others with shallow promises and hopes. We need to leave this permanent beta design behind and make solid, completed products for people to enjoy. And as YouTubers, let's try not to chase that bag too much and sensationalize every game announcement under the sun. Let's be realistic with our viewers, and truly show what risks are involved in supporting games like these. Anyways, thank you for watching, and have a good day, bro.